You're sitting at a dead intersection at 2 a.m., staring at a red light that feels like it's judging you. There are no cars coming from the left. None from the right. No pedestrians waiting to cross. No police officer watching from the shadows. You look both ways again. Nothing. Your eyes tell you it is safe to continue. But one small red light keeps an entire vehicle motionless. So why are you still motionless? If there's no one to catch you, what is actually holding your foot on that brake pedal? Running a red light can lead to punishment, and the possibility of a fine is certainly one reason people stop. But that only explains why ignoring the light may cost you. It does not explain why humans designed a system that sometimes tells drivers to remain still even when no danger is visible. Why give a colored lamp the power to override the judgment of the person who can actually see the road? To answer that, imagine the same intersection without a traffic signal. 4 vehicles arrive from 4 directions. One driver believes he arrived first. Another is already moving. A third slows down, but nobody knows whether she is actually stopping. The 4th waves politely, encouraging someone else to go. 2 engines roar at once. Metal lunges toward metal. Tires scream against the pavement as 2 strangers stare each other down through windshields, inches from a collision. Without a shared signal, every driver enters a small negotiation. Who arrived first? Who is yielding? Who is bluffing? Who has noticed the pedestrian? Who is willing to take the risk? At a quiet intersection, human judgment, eye contact and right-of-way rules may be enough. But as traffic increases, every person must correctly interpret the intentions of several strangers at exactly the same moment. Because in traffic, a simple misunderstanding doesn't just cause a delay. It attempts to put 2 physical bodies in the exact same space at the exact same time. The result is physics. The result is blood. Traffic signals did not solve this problem by becoming better observers than humans. They solved it by removing most of the negotiation. Everyone receives instructions from the same source. Green tells one flow of traffic it's their turn to move. Red holds the cross-traffic in place. Yellow warns that your window is closing, and the priority is about to shift to someone else. In the world of traffic engineering, timing isn't just about lights, it's about deciding who gets to own the road for a few seconds at a time. The system groups safe paths together and keeps the dangerous ones apart. The traffic light replaces dozens of individual conversations with one public schedule. You do not need to make eye contact with the driver on the opposite side. You do not need to ask whether the pedestrian intends to cross. You do not need to guess whether the vehicle beside you will suddenly accelerate. Everyone can see the same signal. And, more importantly, everyone knows that the other road users can see a compatible set of signals too. That is the hidden power of the system. A traffic light is not simply a machine telling cars to stop. It is a machine that temporarily assigns control of the intersection. The intersection belongs to everyone. But it cannot belong to every direction at the same time. For a few seconds, vehicles traveling north and south may receive permission to use it. Then that permission ends. Vehicles traveling east and west receive their turn. Pedestrians may receive another period. A protected turn may receive one of its own. Of course, you don't actually own the asphalt. But for those few seconds, the system grants you exclusive use of a shared, dangerous space. Engineers treat green time like a precious resource, a limited supply of seconds that has to be rationed out to everyone on the road. This changes what a red light really means. Red does not necessarily mean, there is currently another vehicle inside the intersection. It means, your path simply doesn't have permission to enter yet. That difference explains why your eyes cannot completely replace the signal. Your eyes only show you part of the present. The system cannot distinguish between a truly empty street and one where a hazard is merely hidden. It assumes the worst-case scenario, a building hiding a speeding motorcycle, because the cost of being wrong is total. A turning vehicle may be following a signal you cannot see. But the deeper problem is not merely that you might overlook something. The deeper problem is that other people are acting on the assumption that you will obey. A driver approaching on green usually does not expect a vehicle from a red approach to enter unexpectedly. The signal has promised the driver that no one else will cross their path. Traffic rules are designed to keep cars and people from crashing into each other. The system works by giving everyone their own specific time to move, safely separated from everyone else. So when one driver creates a private exception, I looked carefully. I think it is safe for me. That decision changes the situation for everybody else. If drivers cannot rely on red traffic stopping, they must approach every green light prepared for someone to ignore the schedule. They must slow down. They must search every side street. They must begin negotiating with invisible strangers again. The moment you decide the rules don't apply to you, you poison the well. You force every other driver to treat the green light not as a permission, but as a threat. The traffic light's real safety mechanism is therefore not perfect observation. It is predictability. The light may not know more than every driver. But every driver can know what the light has told everyone else to do. So why does the signal sometimes remain red when the intersection truly appears empty? Because not every traffic light is responding directly and instantly to the vehicle in front of it. Some signals are pre-timed. They follow programmed cycles with predetermined periods for green, yellow and red. Others are actuated. Detectors can register vehicles and request or extend particular phases. And many signals are coordinated with neighboring intersections. Their timing is designed around the movement of traffic along an entire road, not merely the vehicle waiting at one isolated corner. Imagine 5 intersections along the same avenue. By carefully offsetting their cycles, engineers may help a group of vehicles move through several green lights in sequence. Allowing one side street to turn green immediately could interrupt that progression and produce more delay elsewhere. The intersection in front of you may look empty locally while still being part of a much larger schedule. Maybe a pedestrian pushed a button you can't see. Maybe the system is clearing out the last few cars from the other side, or the sensor under the asphalt simply missed your motorcycle. Or the timing plan may simply be old and poorly matched to the traffic that exists at 2 in the morning. Traffic systems are not perfectly efficient. Sometimes you really are waiting longer than necessary. Modern adaptive signal systems attempt to reduce this waste. They collect current traffic demand data, evaluate conditions and adjust timing. Data shows these systems can cut down on frustration and keep traffic moving, but they only work if the sensors are actually maintained and the software is up to date. Smarter lights do not remove the shared rule. They try to make the shared rule waste less time. Even an advanced system cannot give every direction green immediately. The same physical space is still limited. Giving more time to one movement usually means making another movement wait. Technology can distribute the turns more intelligently, but it cannot eliminate the need for turns. This order didn't come easily. Before we had these silent, glowing colors, the very first attempts at control were literally exploding in the streets. In 1868, decades before cars ruled the streets, London installed a gas-powered signal near Westminster Bridge. It didn't just fail, it detonated, nearly killing the officer operating it. The first attempt at order ended in fire. An electric signal appeared in Cleveland in 1914, and interconnected and pre-timed systems spread through American cities in the following years. Garrett Morgan's 1923 design added a crucial pause, a moment where everyone stops, giving pedestrians and clearing traffic a few seconds of safety. The machinery changed, but the central problem remained the same. Too many strangers wanted to use the same space. A common signal allowed them to coordinate without speaking. Yet people do not react only to the light. They also watch one another. Imagine several pedestrians waiting at a red signal. One person remains on the curb, so the others continue waiting. Then somebody steps into the road. A second person follows. A third looks at the group rather than the signal and moves too. Researchers watching thousands of people in France and Japan noticed a pattern: we don't just watch the light, we watch each other. If one person steps off the curb, the rest often follow like a row of falling dominoes, ignoring the red bulb entirely. The light supplies the official rule, but the crowd acts as a competing signal. When we follow the person instead of the lamp, we abandon the system's predictability and return to the dangerous negotiation of the past. That is why traffic signals are more than mechanical devices. They sit at the intersection of law, engineering, and social trust. A red light works because drivers expect other drivers to respect red. A green light works because the people moving through it expect the cross-traffic to stay put. Once that expectation disappears, the colors lose much of their coordinating power. So what happens when the road is dead silent? Why do we still sit there, staring at a red bulb, feeling like a fool for obeying a machine that can't even see us? The truth is, the machine isn't just asking whether danger is visible right now. It is protecting a shared promise. When one direction receives permission to move, every conflicting direction is expected to wait. That expectation allows strangers approaching at dangerous speeds to coordinate without speaking, making eye contact or trusting one another's personal judgment. The system is not perfect. Some signals make people wait longer than necessary. Sensors fail. Timing plans become outdated. And engineers continue trying to make intersections respond more intelligently. But the red light is doing more than stopping your car. It is telling you that the shared space currently belongs to someone else, or that the system hasn't handed the keys back to you yet. You are not really waiting for another vehicle to appear. You aren't just waiting for a car to pass. You're waiting for your turn in a massive, invisible game of trust. And in this game, the moment you stop playing, the whole system starts to die.